Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Reds Reloaded, the podcast where we talk about everything Cincinnati Reds. I am your host, Kyle Luther, a lifelong Cincinnati Reds fan. This is Chandler Patrick. He is also a lifelong Cincinnati Reds fan. Now, guys, we want to dig deep into this Brewers and Pirates series. It wasn't very good for the Reds. Not like we would want to see for the NL Central. We're going against the NL Central, guys. So we obviously want to squeak in those wins when we can, and the Reds just didn't get it done. So I'll go over the scores of the games, and then we'll go into stats. So the scores for the Pirates series was 6-4. We got a victory. Then 9-7. We got a victory, and then we lost 4-9. We didn't finish out that sweep, guys. Going on to the Brewers series, we went 3-5, 2-7, 2-4, and 7-2. So we did get a victory last night, guys, or should I say Wednesday night or Thursday night, but it's all right, guys. We got a win in both series, but I don't know. I just don't know what to say about the Reds anymore, for real. But Chandler, what's your overall grade for the Reds this week?
Um, F for fail. No. Um, they did let me down with they did let me down. They didn't get that sweep against the Pirates. I was hoping that we could squeeze that out and then just split the series against the Brewers, and at many times it did look like we could have split that series against the Brewers, if not won that series. Unfortunately, either the offense wasn't quite there enough that game, or the big thing, the pitching wasn't there. The Brewers just absolutely killed us. I mean, every single game, their offense was just on point. I don't know what they're feeding those guys in that clubhouse, but it's been insane. Um, I gave them a C plus for those two series. I think the big thing that I was impressed more with was their ability to take down Paul Skeens and Mizorowski. That was two big things that were worrisome going into those series, and we were able to accomplish wins in both of those games. Unfortunately, the rest of that Brewers series really put a damper on things, so that relegates us just down to a C. Offensively, I have them at A minus. There's not a whole lot more that they could have done from an all-around standpoint. They scored 33 runs, averaged almost 5 per game. And then for pitching, I gave them a D. They allowed 38 runs, averaged over 5 runs allowed per game in those two series. I mean, it's so hard to win a ball game if your pitching staff is allowing over 5 runs a game. It's unacceptable, and they need to just continue to put in that work and make strides to be better. What would you give them
Right.
grade wise for those two series?
And it's tough, right? It is. It's tough because I think our hitting was really good, and I think this was flip flopped last week. We kind of saw a flip flop from the pitching and the hitting standpoint. So I think the pitching is going to get a D plus for me. We allowed too many runs, um, and big momentum games we didn't get it finished, and I think that's been a problem all season. And I think for the hitting, uh, I think I'm gonna be very very like maybe rude here, but like I think I'm a B plus. The only reason I'm not an A is there's a little more we could have done, right? A little bit more
Yeah.
base running, a little bit more, a little bit more, just taking strides at the plate instead of swinging at the first pitch or That's my number one pet peeve with the Reds, and I think they do that a lot is swing at the first pitch. And that it bugs the crap out of me. Because like watch the first pitch go in. That's something you're taught in T-ball. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a B plus for the hitting and a D plus for the pitching because I think we could have done a lot more. So
Yeah.
going into those two series, what's your biggest surprise?
My biggest surprise, more than anything, I think would be the success that we had against Mizorowski. I was talking to you about it before we started recording, but I'm currently waiting to see if they change the box score, the ruling more specifically on an error that was called at the time, but they may overturn it to a base hit. Um, I believe it was Blade trying to beat it out, and he was, you know, he was safe. First baseman drops the ball. They ruled it an error originally. It looks like he beat that throw out though. So if they overturn that, that'll be more earned runs against Mizorowski. But all in all, like how well we were able to put the ball in play, um, I would have said Skeens. Kind of thought about that one, but he's kind of been on a little bit of a rough stretch. His velocity's down, his mechanics are a little bit off. So I was more impressed with the Mizorowski one with comparing what Paul Skeens has been doing recently versus Mizorowski, who's been on fire. I was more impressed with what they did against him. What about you?
So I truly want to say Jose Trevino. Trevino has had
Yeah.
success in the Pirates and the Brewers series. He had two RBIs in the Pirates series and three RBIs in the Brewers series. And we'll touch on that a little later because we got an award for Jose Trevino. But yeah, I think that's my biggest surprise is Jose Trevino really stepping up when Tyler Stevenson's not in the lineup, and he can show that he can be a good asset behind the plate and in the lineup. So going from surprise, what's your biggest disappointment, I guess, in the two series?
So the joke would be the third game of that Pirate series. Um, honestly, but realistically, yeah. I mean, I think regardless, joke or not, it kind of just has to be probably that last game of the Pirate series. I think, not only did I predict that we'd come away with a sweep, but Brady Singer had been on a roll all month long. Um, and for him to kind of fall apart in his last start of the month is just rough. We were able to find some success against the Pirates those first two games. The second game was really hectic, but yeah, I think that last game against the Pirates was one that disappointed me the most. But I'm interested to hear what your take is. Which one yours would be?
So I think mine's overall, right? Uh, we wanted to get a sweep against the Pirates. That was really needed because we're like right behind them in the NL Central division standings. But I think my overall biggest disappointment is just the losing. Like just the losing all around. I mean, it's every single season or every single series. It's just series after series. We're just not getting the hits we need. It's either hitting, it's either pitching. It's always a problem in the series, and I feel like I'm talking about the same stuff every episode. But guys, it's the same thing every series. We're losing close games. We're not finishing out. Our bullpen can't finish out, and I mean, Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree with you. The biggest disappointment is that Pirate series because did need to win that to gain a little traction in that fourth place spot in the division, but we didn't get it finished out, and I
We need that
totally agree
momentum
with you.
going even. We need that momentum going into that Brewers series because we can't win
Yeah,
against the Brewers any other way.
right.
We need
You ain't
something.
kidding. You ain't kidding. So I think I know your answer for this, but what what was your biggest win of those two series?
Biggest win.
Biggest win, best win.
So there's two ways that I kind of want to go with this though. So there's a second game against the Pirates that it was like we kept giving it up, but then we keep battling, and then you know we'll I'll get into it later when we go over game by game, but the heroics at the end of the game and for us to win the ball game after fighting so much, that to me was very special. Um, but then you could go the other way where, um, you know, this last game against the Brewers could be it. But just for the sake, I will go with the second game of the Pirates series, just because I love to see the fight and them not giving up on themselves. That's something that we saw early in the season when we were winning those close games and we were
Right.
being really competitive. And we haven't really seen it a lot these last 2 months like we did the first month or so of the season. What was your biggest win?
Yeah, yeah. So, man, it's a really hard choice. You could pick both games against the Pirates, right? They came out from the last series, and they showed that they can step it up, right? But we lost that last game, so that series really didn't mean too much to me because if we think about it, guys, we we won those first two games but lost the next two. Like we went completely backwards. So I think our biggest and best win was that last game against the Brewers. I think it was 110%. We won 7-2. We put 7 runs on the board and only we kept them to two. So I really truly think that's our best win of those two series because they are the top team in the NL Central.
Yeah,
Now
and they've been
going
basically unbeatable for us all year so far.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, I think we're gonna have the same answer here, right? So what would you say the toughest loss was?
I think I will change this up a little bit.
Okay.
So I would say tough one for me would have been, I'll say, Wednesday's game.
The two to four.
So yeah, that 4-2 loss.
Okay.
Um, that one for me was tough because I saw how Abbott was finding some struggles early in the ball game. Um, Fought out of it, pitched really well the rest of the game, and then we just again couldn't get the job done. As the game progressed, it was they scored 2 runs, then we scored 2 runs in the second inning, and then that was the entirety of the offense. the rest of the game up until the 7th when they scored 2 more runs. Both teams had 8 hits. We had 2 errors against us. But the fact that they jumped out early against Andrew Abbott and then we fought back immediately the next half inning, and then we just didn't do anything else the rest of the game. It is
Right.
just a little disappointing for me. It just really sucked. It could have helped with that momentum, and plus a big win um off of the Brewers. With how good their pitching staff has been against us, and it's just yeah, it was just rough.
So I think the toughest loss for me, I'll piggyback off of yours, but I'm going a game back. I'm going to that 7-2 victory by the Brewers, right?
Yeah.
So here's the problem I see with that. Our pitching staff was not on point. Louder
Yeah.
gave up 11 hits and 6 earned runs in that game, and it showed. Like, we gave up 7 runs in that game, and then you go on and you lose 2-4. So I just don't think Louder has it right now, and I want to see something change because he's putting us in those tough loss situations where we're not winning games because his pitching is not on point anymore. And I truly think something with his injuries affecting him.
Yeah. One thing I do want to say about Louder, the start of that game, he looked really, really, really solid. Um, he had his rough stretch. Um, I mean, again, pretty sure it was like first couple of innings of the game or something, but he almost had an immaculate inning. He was one pitch away from an immaculate inning. Um, that one, yeah, I can agree with you on that. Like, there's so much that just felt so off about that game. I've I kind of want to say, like, I've never really seen something so conflicting before with a start from somebody in our pitching staff all year. Rhett Lauder literally had the ups and the downs throughout that game. He gave up a lot
Right,
of hits, gave up a lot of runs, but he only walked one guy, and he had 8 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings. Like,
right.
it's just ironic more than anything.
It is because he gave up a lot of hits and a lot of earned runs in that game. And I think that's what Reds fans, they don't dive deep into the stats.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's my toughest loss, but that might not be somebody else's. But I think the 11 hits and 6 earned runs speak more to me than 8 strikeouts do. Right?
Yeah.
You're getting those strikeouts, but you're allowing the hits. So
Yeah.
what do you think our momentum is heading into these next 2 series? We face the just so you guys know, we face the Orioles and the Phillies.
What momentum? I mean, we won against the Pirates. We won that series, and we were able to take down Mizorowski. But truth be told, we couldn't finish the Pirates off. We still lost the series against the Brewers. We haven't really been able to have overall success against our division. Um, Maybe facing some competition and out in a different league. Go against the AL East and face the Orioles, face the NL East, face the Phillies. Maybe that can spark something in us, but I'm not holding my breath on it.
I'm not either. I'm not either. So getting into team stats, I know you want to talk about the Pirates series.
Yeah.
I know it's a rough series to talk about because we did want to finish that series out. But guys, Chandler's gonna go game by game. Just a little bit of stats from those games, and I'll let Chandler take it away here.
All right, that first game again, 6-4 win. We had a big pinch hit home run from Noelvi Marte in the 8th inning. Of those 6 RBIs the team had, Marte had 2, Stevenson had 1, Steer had 1, Ellie had 1, and Blake Dunn had 1. Andrew Abbott went 5 1/3 innings, allowing 6 hits, 4 runs, only 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Gave up 3 big flies that game. Brock Burke, or first TJ Antone came in, 1 inning pitched, 1 hit allowed, no runs. Brock Burke, 1 inning, no hits allowed, no earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Pierce Johnson went 2/3 of an inning, allowing 1 hit. He had a strikeout as well. Caleb Ferguson, 1 inning pitched, 1 hit allowed, and 1 strikeout. Defense, nothing too crazy that we wanted to speak on. Same with the base running. We did only leave 4 on base that game, so we've seen much worse before.
Yeah.
The second game of that Pirates series, that was a 9-7 win, and that was again it was a brutal battle, back and forth. When it looked like we had it won, we gave it up, and then right when we looked like we might have had it lost, we won it back. So a little exciting to talk about. 2 big home runs that game. One was from South Stewart to initially give us that momentum early in the ball game, and then Eugenio Suarez, when we were down to our final strike in the 9th inning against Soto. Big 3-run shot the other way to set us ahead in that ball game. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the most exciting home runs that I've seen all year.
Oh yeah, Reds fans were going nuts.
Yeah, and I thought that, hey, that home run and the way that we won that game could really give us that momentum to win us that third game, and unfortunately, it just didn't.
It did
Um,
not.
of those 8 runs that game, or the 8 RBIs that we had that game, Sal Stewart had 2, Gino had 3, Trevino had 2, and Edwin Arroyo had 1. Chase Burns went 6 innings, allowing 9 hits, 5 runs, all 5 earned, um, no walks allowed, and 10 strikeouts. I mean, again, one of those kind of ironic starts, right? A lot of strikeouts. He had some success, but gave up 9 hits, 5 earned runs. That was probably about the roughest start that we've seen from Chase Burns so far this year. But we still, we had the offense to back him up, right? Sam Maul went 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit allowed, 1 run, 2 walks. TJ Antone went 1/3 of an inning. I believe he just faced 1 batter, got a strikeout. Caleb
Yeah.
Ferguson won an inning, allowing 1 hit, 1 run with 1 strikeout. And Chase Petty went 1 inning with 1 walk allowed. Again, defense, nothing too crazy to report on that game. JJ Bleday had a stolen base, and then we had 6 left on base. And then, quick run through of that third game against the Pirates. 9-4 loss. Hit 233 on that game. No home runs. Of our 4 RBIs that we had, JJ Bleday had 2 of them. Tyler Stevenson had 1, and Edwin Arroyo had 1. Brady Singer went 4 1/3, allowing 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and 2 homers. Garcia came in, 1 1/3 innings pitched, 2 strikeouts. McCambly went a third of an inning, allowing 3 walks. Really struggled. I think we can get back into that a little bit later with
Yeah.
him, with the transactions that followed after that.
Yeah.
Brock Burke, an inning and a third, with a strikeout. Pierce Johnson, 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Defensively, there was a solid double play by Sal Stewart. There's an error by Edwin Arroyo. JJ Bleday was caught stealing. We had 7 left on base that game. Just all in all, a little disappointing.
Here's my takeaway from that Pirates series as you were going through it. In that second game against the Pirates, right? We had a great game, right? We ended up winning. We only batted .211 in that game. We only batted .211, and we still ended up finding a way to win that game. And Chase Burns didn't have a great game.
Yeah.
But we still ended up finding a way to win, having 8 RBIs and only batting .211 in that game. That's a crazy stat right there.
Sometimes it's just about when they come.
That's true too.
We talked about it earlier in the year, right? Timely. That was what caused the Reds' success early in the season. Even when the offense on paper looked absolutely terrible and everybody was hitting like 200 or below, pretty much, except for Sal Stewart and Ellie. We were still winning ball games because when we were getting hits, it was when it was collectively. So we were able to get more runs out of it, and our pitching staff was on point.
Right. So going to the Brewers series, guys, we'll run through it really, really quick. But that first game against the Brewers, we lost 3-5. Our batting was pretty good. 232. Home run by Ellie De La Cruz. We had 3 RBIs in that game. De La Cruz had 2 RBIs, and Dane Myers had 1 RBI. Our starting pitching, solid outing from Nick Lodolo. He went 5 innings, one hit, 0 earned runs, 4 walks, and 4 Ks. Chase Petty came in to relieve him. He went 1 2/3 with 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 1 K. Sam Maul, he came in after Petty. He went 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 earned run, and 1 strikeout. And then TJ Antone came in to finish that game off. He went a third of an inning with 1 hit, 1 earned run, zero walks, and 0 strikeouts. Solid defensive play by solid double play by Arroyo to Spencer Steer. And this is crazy, but you guys probably have already seen it online. Dane Myers' catch in the outfield. Sad to see Dane Myers go to the IL for that, but an amazing, I'll say it right here, an amazing catch. To keep that ball in your glove while you hit the wall, it's an amazing catch. But base running in that game, guys.
Break his neck.
I was thinking collarbone. I was thinking more collarbone where he hit, but left 7 men on base, so quite a bit of runs left on base in that game. That second game against the Brewers, guys, we lost 2-7, like I already said, but we batted .224, 1 home run by Sal Stewart. Once again, Sal Stewart coming up. 2 RBIs by Sal Stewart. Rhett Lauder started that game. He went 4 2/3 with 11 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. Caleb Ferguson came in after him to relieve him. He went 2 2/3 inning with 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Garcia came in to finish that game off with 2 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 0 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Solid defensive play, double play by Ellie to Arroyo, and then to Sal Stewart. Base running in that game, guys. Suarez got caught stealing. We left 4 runners on base. Now we kind of get in the back half of the series, guys. So this is kind of where I saw the lineup kind of struggle, and this is the reason we lost. We batted 210 in that game. Noel Marte, he had a home run. He had 2 RBIs. He was our only runs in that game. The only runs that we had were from Noel Marte. Starting pitching in that game wasn't terrible. Andrew Abbott went 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, and 3 strikeouts. TJ Antone came in after him. He went 1 inning, had a walk. Brockberg came in 2/3 inning, two-third inning with 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Pierce Johnson, he faced 1 batter and didn't allow any runs. Didn't get a strikeout either. But Emilio Pagan came in first game back for Emilio Pagan. He got a strikeout off of 1 batter. And we left 5 runs on base, guys. This last game against the Brewers, this is what I really want to talk about. We batted 252 in that game. Solid hitting performance from the Reds. We had 3 home runs in that game, guys. Jose Trevino had 1, TJ Friedel had 1, and Sal Stewart had 1. We had 7 RBIs. Trevino had 3 of those. Friedel had 2 of those. Sal Stewart had 1 of those, and Marte had 1 of those. Kind of a solid pitching performance from Chase Burns in that game. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Sam Ball came in after him. He went 1 1/3 inning and got a strikeout. TJ Antone came in after that. He went 2/3 innings and got 1 strikeout. Brockberg came in to finish off the game, went 1 inning and got 1 strikeout. And we left 8 runners on base. What is your kind of key takeaway from that Brewers series after hearing the stats?
Our pitching staff needs to have a come to Jesus meeting. More than anything. Because they didn't necessarily keep us as a whole in the best position to win game to game, except for obviously Chase Burns' amazing start. But I mean, if I take it back to that first game, right? Allowing 5, allowing 7, allowing 4. That's where it gets a bit tougher, right? For that offense. Yeah, I mean, that was a big takeaway for me. I guess going to both of those series, I was looking at it, and TJ Antone had, I believe, 5 games that he pitched in those 2 series, and he allowed 1 earned run. Um, you know, may not have necessarily had crazy great performances with a bunch of strikeouts or whatever, but I mean, we looked at a bunch of dudes earlier in the year on the team and that bullpen, like Connor Phillips. Big one was Graham Ashcraft. Some of these guys that just came out there and it felt like they were going every day. Maybe TJ
Right.
Antone is that guy for us right now that can kind of
Maybe.
go out there
And
and be more reliable.
do you think TJ Antone's a setting kind of person, like bring him in after the starting pitcher goes out?
Honestly, I think you could put TJ into just about any scenario. It looks like they've been trying to use him a little bit more after the starter gets pulled, but I think you could try to use him as a setup man in the 8th inning. You could potentially use him as a closer in the ninth from time to time if the matchup, calls for it. Um, I think that he has that versatility where, I mean, he was a starter before, so you could even use him as an opener if you need one, you know,
Right.
just a true, like, versatile pitcher. I guess kind of like what we've seen out of Chase Petty. Do whatever you might need him to do. Did you notice
I truly
anything
think
big that stuck out?
I truly wish they would pitch Caleb Ferguson more. He was one of our award winners from last week. Um,
Yeah.
he really shows that he can pitch, and I think that was a really good pickup by the Reds. But I don't know. I wish they would pitch him more because I think he does really good in the kind of eighth, ninth inning kind of thing. But I don't think he's right after the starting pitching type stuff. I think he's more late in the game, and I wish they would really let him pitch more. But if his arm's tired, I get it. I completely get it. So, kind of going away from the stats, right? You guys have been asking for this for a long time. Um, you guys had a lot of questions regarding injuries. So before we hand out our weekly awards, it's time for your Reds Reloaded injury report. This is where we're going to catch up on the latest health updates around the club. And Chandler, would you agree staying healthy is kind of the huge part of the
Yeah,
season?
yeah, staying healthy is a huge part of any season. I mean, truly, like, kind of like what Sam touched on when he was on here, right? I mean, those injuries, whether it's, a small injury from one player and then this other player gets injured and this other player gets injured, all that really builds up as the season goes on. So while one injury might not seem as significant, when you add all of the injuries that may pile up at a given time on top of each other, I mean, it truly can have a huge impact on the season.
Right. So, guys, we'll go over this real quick. There's some guys that we probably more than likely won't see the rest of the season if the season continues the way it is. I wouldn't bring them back. I wouldn't rush them back if the season's just going to go the way we think it's going to go, but we hope we can get them back. But players currently on the IL, we got Graham Ashcraft. He's on the 60-day DL. Brandon Williamson's on the 60-day DL. Blake Dunn's currently on the 10-day DL, and Tony Santillan's currently on the 15-day DL. No one's currently on the day-to-day. Current rehab assignments. Key Brian Hayes is expected. By the time we're recording this, he's already faced live pitching in Arizona at our complex in Arizona. Expected timeline returns. It's huge. Hey, Hunter Green's making his season debut on Saturday against the Orioles. Glad to see Hunter Green back. Hopefully he can have a good season, and hopefully, knock on wood, he don't get hurt again. But Chandler, you would agree. This is a problem with Hunter Green every season.
Yeah, it's literally been an issue every single season.
Right. And setbacks, kind of positive recovery news. Dane Myers did get hurt, guys, and it sucks. He had made an amazing catch, but he did end up getting hurt in that Brewers game. The X-rays were negative, but he was placed on the 10-day DL as a kind of look out for make sure he's okay. But we did receive a good update. Charlie Goldsmith, a Reds reporter, received an update on Blake Dunn. This is all I got, guys, for the Blake Dunn situation. He received good news about his injury and stated he could return to hitting and throwing by this weekend. So hopefully we see Blake Dunn. Chandler, how do you think these injuries, now that I've talked about them, how do you think these injuries affect the lineup, rotation, and bullpen? And who has stepped up to fill those roles?
Well, one one big thing again is the impact that Hunter Green is going to have returning to the rotation. I think that's a big heavy hitting one that it's going to raise a lot of questions in the coming,
Right.
days, especially on today, right? We'll find out tomorrow, but all we know is that he's going to be cleared and going to make his debut on Saturday. What does that mean for the rest of the rotation? Does somebody have an injury that they've been kind of holding out on? And they hit the IL. Um, does somebody get sent to the bullpen? Does somebody get pulled down to AAA? I think that is for sure the biggest one out of all of them, and that's not to take away from Dane Meyer's situation. That's a big blow to the ball club, especially defensively. But it did provide an opportunity to have another prospect get called up and get his chance to shine in the big leagues.
Right, right. Right, and I think we touched on this in the last episode. I don't know if we did or not, but I'll touch on it right here, guys. So we talked about it in the last episode. I remember our conversation, right? Who can step up in center field, right? And you're like, oh, Blake Dunn, and I think he should be. I think he should be at the top of the lineup. Then Blake Dunn gets hurt. Dane Myers gets hurt. It's like everybody gets hurt. Now, I do know. I will report to you guys through Terry Francona, Matt McLean has been taking reps in center field. I don't know if that's something we'll see in the future, if it's something we'll see on a daily basis.
Did you see
Just
him
know
make
that he's
some
taking a
solid plays in that Brewer series?
I did, and I think he might be an everyday starter in center field soon, but I guess
Right
we'll have to
now.
wait and see. But but kind of going on to right. We talked about those two series, guys. We talked about the injuries, but like, who is reloaded? Who is Reds reloaded? Who gains our awards for this week? Chandler, who gains our awards for this week?
Player of the week, Sal Stewart. He had a 257 average, 3 homers, 5 RBIs. Um, Kind of frustrated me a couple of times in that Pirates series, watching him ground out into like a double play or whatever. But outside of that, he performed really well. Some big home runs, and the thing is are we seeing Sal Stewart get really hot again? The batting average isn't what we saw, in March going into early April, but
Right.
overall, he's putting some swings on the ball that's like, okay, he might be really starting to find his groove again.
So I will tell you before you go on to Hot Bat Award, I saw this stat right before we started the podcast. Sal Stewart now has 60 RBIs on the season, guys. 60 RBIs. He now he is now in third place behind Albert Pujols and Pete Alonso for the most RBIs before an All-Star break.
Hey, we call him Salbert
I
for a
just
reason, right?
I just saw that stat, and that was a crazy stat. I mean, getting in the
It's a great
conversation
play.
of guys like Albert Pujols and Pete Alonso, that's never going to
Yeah.
happen again, guys.
Yeah. And that's as a rookie, right? Or is that just his first
That is
baseman?
as a rookie. Nope,
Yeah.
that's rookie year.
Um, Hot Bat Award. Who gets it? Who gets it? Noelvi Marte. No, but seriously, Noelvi had a couple big home runs through those two series, had 5 RBIs. It's not like he's putting out crazy, insane performances where he has like two or three, four hits a game, whatever. But he's finding himself in some clutch moments and providing some some solid impact for us. Another one that I kind of want to have as an honorable mention though for this,
Yeah,
just to
go ahead.
put this out here. Um, so obviously we have another one that we're going to get into. I'll let you have that one since you already mentioned it at the
Yeah,
end. But we also had Tyler Stevenson, who had been on a roll, right? And we've also had Edwin Arroyo, who, hey, those are two guys that they start heating up. Edwin Arroyo proving that he belongs. Um, Again, we're not giving them these guys the hot bat award really for these two series, but I just wanted to shout those guys out for what they've been able to contribute, not just within the last two series, but going back the last couple weeks, really. Edwin Arroyo really could have been sent back down to AAA once Ellie got back, but he's still in the big leagues, and that's for a reason. He's shown that he can play here.
right.
And then, um, did you want to take over for pitcher of the week, or you want me to get that one? Then you get the last ones.
No, I can take over. So
Okay.
guys, and I think Chandler will agree with me. Chase Burns is having a great season, guys. He has proven that he's the Reds' ace. I don't want to take any heat away from Hunter Green. Hunter Green is a good pitcher, right? But we're
Yes.
seeing Chase Burns do something that we haven't seen in a long time by a Reds pitcher. Chase Burns in the last 7 games, he had 2 starts. He had 12 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts. He is now 10-1 on the season, guys. He's only lost 1 game. Now, touching off the pitcher of the week and going to who needs a bounce back, it's Rhett Lauder again. I mean, this is 2 weeks in a row with Rhett Lauder. I, four and 2/3 innings pitched, 11 hits, 6 earned runs, and 8 strikeouts. I would hate to see if he started another game in those two series. How bad those stats would be. I just don't know what's going on with Lauder, and I think what you touched on a little bit. Hunter Green coming back from injury, right? Is there somebody injured? Is Rhett Lauder hiding an injury that we don't know about? I guess we'll never know. I really guess we'll never know. And unsung hero, guys. This is why Chandler wanted to keep this to me. I touched on this earlier in the episode. Jose Trevino. We haven't heard his name a lot this season. We haven't brought his name up a lot this season, but this kind of stuck out with me when I was thinking about this episode. I was like, man, who would I make my unsung hero? And I think Chandler would agree with me. And I said, Jose Trevino. He had 1 home run and 5 RBIs. Not a huge stat line, but it's something that we're seeing from a backup catcher. And I think we have two solid catchers that can really hit the ball and show that they can produce runs on the board. I mean, he had two RBIs against the Pirates and 3 RBIs against the Brewers. Those were solid RBIs, and I think he deserves the unsung hero. So
Definitely impressed. He came
yeah,
over to the Reds, signed the extension last year, and I mean, Trevino was performing really well offensively to start the year off last year. I think for
oh,
the first
absolutely,
month or two, and then after that, his offense completely disappeared. Um,
Right.
he couldn't have really struggled much more, the rest of the season than he did, and he'd been struggling horrendously to start this year. But you know, I think maybe that's in part why he's kind of been an unsung hero from those two series. Why it seems like maybe more people haven't been talking about his performance, but I don't think we should take that for granted. I think, his performance is what he's done. He contributed in those two series, and anybody that's contributing at this point, hey, that's better than probably half the team, at least, arguably. So, absolutely, Jose Trevino, huge shout out to him. Great, great two series for him.
Yeah. So, kind of got the dugout debate, Chandler. Um, so, this first question, guys, I want you guys to answer on Facebook too. I want you to answer on Facebook and be completely honest about this dugout debate. The Brewers right now are the Reds' kryptonite. Why can't the Reds succeed against the Brew Crew? Why can't they? What do you think, Chandler?
Honestly, simplest answer that I can really give you, the Brewers just want it more. I mean, you see
Right.
how much they fight. You see how hungry they are as a team. We've talked about we don't know exactly how they're able to succeed as much as they're able to every year because on paper they might not look as good as the, you know, Phillies, the Mets, Yankees, whoever it may be in Major League Baseball. And yet they finish the year and their record is on par or maybe even better than those other teams.
Right.
And a lot of it just comes down to, I think, their coaching staff, their front office making moves that they need to make at deadlines and in the off season to fill those needs that they may have, and just overall that hunger that they have. They just truly have that grit and they just want it more, and it makes me very envious because I wish that I was seeing that out of the Reds right now.
I truly do too. Touching off of this a little bit, I think it's everything. And I got another question after I get done with this. I got another question with you following up this question. So I just think it's pitching. I think it's hitting. I think it's our coaching staff. Now, my question is Tito the problem in the clubhouse? Is he not firing up the team enough to get the kind of get that momentum started? Like, hey guys, get your crap together. I just don't think we have that right now.
Yeah, I don't. It's a little bit more of a friendly environment. I know a lot of people talk about like David Bell was a little bit laid back and they didn't feel like he held them accountable. Um, Tito does, but in a friendly way. We obviously got to see like Dusty Baker, and we would kind of see the stuff that would leak out online of conversations that you'd have with players and the I guess arguments that you'd see those guys get into, and you would see him. It felt like he was getting ejected all the time, and I just feel like that accountability should maybe be a little bit more on display, or maybe he just needs to be a little bit more aggressive with it. Um, Maybe he's just not at that point in his career that he just kind of wants to do that, but I don't know. I'm not a manager. He's had more success as a manager than I probably ever have, but I I still don't think that it's necessarily what the Reds need right now. I think that we need somebody like a Dusty Baker. Obviously, he won't come out of retirement for it, but um, We need somebody kind of like that, if possible,
I
that
mean,
just fires the team
I
up.
personally think a guy that's coming up is former Reds player Skip Schumacher. He's firing up. He's firing up as a manager. He's doing really, really well. We saw the success. He didn't really have success, but he kind of put the Marlins in his back pocket and showed that he can be the fire in that clubhouse to get them started. But
I will say in response to that, because you do make an amazing point with Skip Schumacher. Zach Cozart did play with Skip Schumacher when he was with the Reds, and he did say that he knows the type of guy that Skip is, and he knows that he would hold them all accountable.
right, so kind of going in a lineup, right? We have lineup questions, but what's your best defensive lineup for the Reds?
It's a great question. Um, so strictly defensively, if we're not worried about offense as much, just defense.
Just
I'm
defense.
going. I'm going Tyler Stevenson behind the plate. I know certain metrics might
Right.
not favor him that much, but I love him defensively. Um, Plus, I think he has a better chance at throwing out runners than Trevino does. I'm going Spencer
That in
Steer at
the
first base.
ABS.
Yeah. I'm going Spencer Steer at first base. At second base, I think I'll go Matt McLean.
Ooh.
Yeah. Um, at third base, I'll play it a little interesting because I don't think we've seen him there yet this year. I don't think we've seen him at the big league level at third base quite yet. But I'm going to go with Edwin Arroyo at third base. Give him some playing time
Okay.
there. Let's see what he's able to put out there.
Okay.
Um, and then Ellie at shortstop.
Okay.
Um, I don't want to completely take Edwin Arroyo out of there. Um, Out of that infield. Defensively, out outfield, dude. Oh
Outfield's like
man,
a roll the dice.
yeah. Right now, um, I'll go Noelvian right because I think he's kind of shown that in center field he's not quite ready for it yet. I'll go
Right.
JJ Bleday in left, and then
Who you throwing? Who you throwing? In center field. I mean,
dang,
it's like a toss up.
um, I'll go Friedel in center. I mean, he I think he's the best chance, and a lot of people have been hating on Friedel. They say his fielding absolutely is super horrendous. When you actually look at like his Savant page, he's not bad defensively. He doesn't have like the best arm. That hurts him, but outside of that, he's really not that bad defensively. Um, I know a lot of fans just like to nitpick, and they'll have certain players that they just don't like. But I truly believe that TJ Friedel plays a better center field than a lot of people give him credit for.
So
I kind of want to
I
know
wanna
what
touch on
your
your
lineup would be.
Okay. I agree. I agree with you on almost everything, right? I don't agree with you on second base. I truly don't. I've seen how Edwin Arroyo plays at second base. I do. I see how well he plays that, and he deserved that spot. He has made so many good plays. Yes, he's made errors. We all make errors. We're not perfect. but he has played that position so well in the season.
But so has Matt McClain.
He
And he
has,
played it
but
really well early in the year, too.
maybe Matt McClain's our starting center fielder.
That, that's a possibility. Now, I do want us to
Maybe it
clarify
is.
something. I know I didn't say South Stewart anywhere there, right? That's because
Yeah.
I would have him as the DH. And as much as it
Okay.
hurts me
That's
to say Gino might need to like have less playing time or, you know, get traded, I don't know, but I feel like, you know, it's hard to put Sal in any of those spots in the infield over any of the other guys that I mentioned.
you're
You know what
right.
I mean?
You're right.
Unless we go with the way that you say, where we put Edwin at second base, and then we put McLean in center, and then maybe we're able to put Sal or Gino at third base. And then obviously the other would
Right.
be DH.
Right. So talking about center field and the injuries and everything like that. How much do you think we touched on it a little bit in this episode already, but what do you think and how much impact do you think the return of Hunter Green's going to have on the Reds?
Yeah, like I said before, I think it's going to be absolutely huge. I was in an argument with somebody on X. I don't want to go too much into it, but just briefly going over it, what I basically explained to them, and they stopped responding after this, was you have 5 starters in your rotation, right? We have 2 guys. Let's just say we have 2 pitchers that give us a solid chance, you know, on a consistent basis. That would be
Right.
Burns and Abbott, right?
Right.
If you add Hunter Green into that mix, that gives us 3 of our 5 as solid. What's better, having a winning chance in 40% of the games or in 60% of the games? You know what I mean?
I mean, you're not lying.
Um,
You're not lying.
Simply put, how much do you
So
think it impacts it?
it impacts it a lot. I truly do. But here's my argument. And here this kind of goes to the next question too, right? Um, who moves to the bullpen, or do we move Hunter Green to the bullpen as a closer? It's a thought. It really, truly is. I mean, at this rate, this could
Mm,
be anything for the Reds.
yeah, I mean, at this point, I am putting either. Because there's another way that
Oh,
this
I
could
know
go.
who I put.
I'll, I'll just say I would take Lodolo, put him in the bullpen, and leave Hunter Green in the rotation because I feel like he might give us a better opportunity in the rotation, and then Lodolo might be able to help us out in the bullpen. I just feel like maybe that would give us a better chance. What would you do?
I say, let's see. You have Abbott Burns, Hunter Green,
Mm-hmm.
Nick, Nick Lodolo, and then you got to find that fifth pitcher, right? You're choosing from Brady Singer or you're choosing from Brett Louder. I think right now, arguably, I think I would move Brett Louder to the bullpen
Okay.
to maybe give him a chance to reevaluate himself. Maybe coming in only pitching like 1 or 2 innings every couple days, or hopefully not every day. But I think it I think it gives him a chance to reevaluate himself and a chance to like the award he got. He needs to bounce back, right? He needs to show that he can be in our rotation and can fight and can get those big wins when we need them to.
So another question would be, should we potentially call up another prospect or, trade somebody out and get a prospect, up in the big leagues?
Yes, right now, I truly think Hector Rodriguez deserves a chance in center field.
Yeah.
That's my argument. That's my argument. I truly, they called up, they called up Ivan. They called up
Hmm.
Ivan, but I truly think the season that I will stand on this till the end of the season happens, that Hector Rodriguez deserves a chance up in the MLB right now.
And I think that we might actually see that later in the year, if not really soon. It's hard to tell,
I hope so. I hope so.
but it could happen much sooner than I feel like maybe some might even think.
Right.
The other thing is, if you call him up, then do we run into a spot where he's facing big league pitching? Maybe he doesn't do so well off of it, at first, just that initial jump in competition. If he doesn't perform so well right away, does that end up killing his confidence and maybe hurting him in the long run if he's not ready? He looks ready for sure, but if he's not, and if they're trying to advance him a little bit too fast, I guess that would be the other side of that argument, right? Um, it's a mistake that they definitely don't want to make with Duno as well, but they could be in a spot where those guys are just ready and they're undeniable. You have to call them up. Hard to tell.
I mean, we kind of saw that with Reese Hines and Encarnacion Strand, right? They struggled with major league pitching, and they ultimately ended up getting traded, um, and or DFA'd. So I don't know. I just want to see him get a chance, right? Edwin Arroyo's done pretty good with big league pitching. He's able to crack a few runs here and there, and he's able to drive in some runs. So I think he deserves. I think he's next on the list to deserve a chance.
So another one would be: do we keep Tyler Stevenson through the rest of the year? Do we potentially try to re-sign him in the offseason? Or do we go ahead and start looking at trades, considering the trade deadlines at the end of the month?
Uh, Market value right now. I think Tyler Stevenson has a good market value right now. We have Duno down in Double A now. I think it's Double A
Yeah,
now.
he
But
just got called up to Double A.
we got him in Double A, so he's on the fast track. If I don't, I'm gonna bite my words here. I don't think we trade Tyler Stevenson at the deadline. I think we wait till the end of the year and see how Duno performs down in Double A, and then maybe give a chance for Duno. Maybe fast track him up to the MLB and give him a chance in spring training to prove himself.
Might be moving a bit fast. That's a big
Maybe.
concern of mine. That's a big concern of mine with Duno. Is I want us to have backup plans beyond him. It would be different if we had Trevino and Stevenson, and then we needed to have another catcher for whatever may be the reason, a long stretch, and we just need another catcher, double headers, whatever it may be. Um, and then we have Duno up in the big leagues, and he's performing really well. And then it's like, oh well, we don't really want to send him down, but we're carrying too many catchers to have throughout a whole year, so we got to trade one of these other two, either Stevenson or Trevino. Um, we're looking at Duno maybe being called up next year, but in my thought, I think it's likely really late next year or 2028. I
I'm
don't
thinking
think that
like
they want to
July
rush
or
him too
August.
much. I was thinking September when the call ups are next year. That might be kind of when he gets his first taste, kind of like Sal Stewart did last year. And then he might
Yeah,
get this, see a full season in 2028.
yeah. So kind of touching all around, right? Um, kind of around NL Central baseball. We talked about it, how the Reds have struggled, right? And I think
Yeah.
the standings prove for themselves. The Brewers are sitting at 53 and 32 right now. The Cubs are sitting at 49 and 38. The Cardinals are sitting at 45 and 39. The Pirates are sitting at 500 at 44 and 44. And the Reds are in last place at 40 and 46. In the wild card race, the Brewers are obviously the division leaders, so they're going to get in. And the Cubs and Cardinals hold wild card spots right now. The Pirates are 3 games back. The Reds are 6 games back from a wild card spot. So the biggest thing I see is the Reds cannot beat the NL Central. We have struggled all season long. We can't beat the NL Central. So, what right now is your biggest surprise in the NL Central?
Cardinals. I
Why?
don't know how they're. I don't even know how they're above 500 right now. They obviously shopped. They've lost some talent, right? They've
Right.
lost Sonny Gray, Contreras, Arenado. Obviously, the last couple of years they've lost Paul Goldschmidt. They've lost a lot of their team. And oh man, there's somebody else that I'm sure that I'm completely forgetting. But it's kind of just a 180 from what I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be a little bit below 500, and honestly, they've exceeded my expectations so far this year, and that is very unfortunate.
Right. Right. I truly I mean, I have to go off of you last week, what you said. The Brewers are like
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, how can you not talk good about them? They're 53 and 32 and they dominate teams. They just dominated the Reds for 3 games in a row. And then they dominated us in the last series we played against them. How can you not talk good about them? Not that we want to talk good about them, guys, but it's hard. It's really hard.
You won't hear it from me.
So I know we're not supposed to talk good about any of the NL Central teams because we're supposed to hate them as Reds fans, but we're an equal opportunity podcast here. So, but big biggest surprise MLB team right now, Chandler.
For me, it'd be the Tampa Bay Rays. Um, dude, looking at the AL
The,
East, the the Red Sox, they made some moves. Thought they were going to be solid. Roman Anthony struggling. Rest of the team outside of maybe a handful of players just completely, completely disappointed. Um, a lot of their fan base. The Orioles have been below 500. The Blue Jays are a little bit below 500, which is disappointing because they were just in the World Series last year. The Yankees are doing solid, but lo and behold, here they come. They're like the Grim Reaper of the AL East. The Tampa Bay Rays always finding themselves towards the top of that division, and right now they're finding themselves in first place. I don't know how they've done
Right.
it, but apparently Nick Martinez jumped ship to one of the best teams of baseball. So
You ain't kidding.
I'm just
You
going to
ain't
leave it at
kidding at
that.
all.
What's yours?
My biggest surprise team is the Marlins. Um, I think they're on a bounce back year because I was actually just talking good about him, but I think they moved on from Skip Schumacher and they found somebody that can lead the team a little better, and I think it shows. They're right behind. They're right behind for a wild card spot, so they're kind of fighting in that wild card race per se. So I think it really surprises me.
I can understand that one. They were
Yeah,
surprising starting off the year. I mean, the way that they played against the Reds, I was like, man, better strap in.
yeah, yeah. So kind of closing out the episode, guys. Right? We were. I just want to talk good about myself for a second, give myself a pat on the back. But we were talking about this before we started the episode, guys. We made our series predictions for the last series, and I just want Chandler to know that I beat him in the series race. I predicted that the Reds went 4-3. They went 3-4. Chandler predicted that they went 5-2. That did not happen. But
I needed that
uh,
sweep.
you didn't get it. You didn't get it.
No, I
But
didn't.
kind of talking about the next series, right? We face the Orioles and the Phillies. Rotation's kind of going to switch because Hunter Green's coming back. We're gonna
Yep.
we're gonna see a lot of moves with the bullpen. So, what do you think our record series record's going to be in these next 6 games?
Hate to be bold again because it didn't work out for me that well the last time, but I was stuck between putting them like right at 500 and a little bit above. So I'm putting them at 4-2. I think that we squeeze out the series win against the Orioles, and I think we somehow squeeze out the win against the Phillies. Specific
Okay.
reason why I'm thinking that we can take down the Phillies is I believe we will have Andrew Abbott and Chase Burns going in that series.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so I think that could set us up for some success. The Orioles series, I'll tell you the games in the Orioles series since we actually have the order of the pitchers here. I do think that Hunter Green is able to get the win in his return. Otherwise,
Okay.
the season is completely a wash. Um, I, th- I I think it needs to happen. It absolutely needs to happen. And then I'll say Brady Singer might have a bounce back game. Um,
One can hope.
we're going up against Rogers, who's 5-7 on the year, 4.99 ERA. I think that gives us a better opportunity than Bradish later in the series, who's 5-8 with a 3.77 ERA, going up against Lodolo with a 5.05.
Right.
So, I think that's what we're going to see there. What are you predicting series record wise?
3-3. 3-3.
Fair.
I think your winners are Green, Burns, and Abbott. I don't think Brady Singer has a bounce back game. I think we kind of got a little taste. I think we were talking too much crap about him that he's like, all right, I'm gonna show you a little bit. I'm gonna show you a tiny bit, and then I'm just gonna go back to normal. So
We talked bad, then he starts doing good, and then we start talking good, and he does bad. I don't know.
Um, I don't think Lodolo gets a win, and I don't know if Louder's pitching in those two series, but I bet he is. But I don't think he gets a win either. So I'm thinking 3-3.
That's fair. It's absolutely fair.
Uh, player of the week, home run leader and winning pitcher. Uh, player of the week for me, I think we're gonna see. You're probably gonna be ecstatic about this one. I really truly think that Noelvi Marte is gonna show up in these two series. The only reason I say that, man, he has been completely on his A game these last two series, and it shows. He's hit home runs, he's hit extra bases, and I truly think he'll be our player of the week award winner. Our home run leader, I think we see Sal Stewart continue. We see him continue to hit homers. I know he's up to 17 home runs this year, which is absolutely crazy. Right before the All-Star break, so and then winning pitcher, I think we got to give it to Chase Burns. I don't think Chase Burns has a bad start. I think he's gonna dominate and perform. Bold prediction. I think Hunter Green takes an L. That's just a bold prediction. I didn't predict that in my series record, but I just have a weird feeling. That's a bold prediction. Bold prediction.
All right. Um, for me, I think our player of the week. I'll I'll be a little bit bold with this one, but I think going off of his trends here recently, I think it's kind of fair. I'll say Edwin Arroyo be the player
Oh,
of the
I
week.
knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
Um, he's had some really solid performances, and I think that
He has.
these next two series could be really big for him to showcase what he's able to do. Home run leader. I'll go with Ellie De La Cruz. I think
I think
Ellie.
you,
Hmm?
I think you said Ellie in the last series too.
No, well, the last one I said Blade, I'm pretty sure. So he hit
Okay.
none, by the way. If anybody was wondering and didn't see, I completely whiffed. But Ellie, I think, will have a better chance. I almost went back with Blade, said we'll run it back, but I'm changing it up. I think Ellie has a better chance. When looking at right-handed hitters, I don't feel as confident with those guys in these two series because the wall in Baltimore's pushed back. Philadelphia, it's a little bit easier for lefties to hit a home run. Winning pitcher, I'm kind of gonna go off of like who I think is gonna have the best performance. And personally, I agree. I think Chase Burns at this point it's undeniable. It's the easiest one to roll with. He's always having the best performances. So I think at this point I just have to agree with you, and we both just have to settle on Chase Burns having that best performance. Um, and then my bold prediction: Kyle Schwarber held to no home runs in the Philly series.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. He's
Will it
held to
happen?
no
Probably
home
not. But
runs. He's held to no home runs because he didn't decide to sign with the Reds.
oh yeah. Well, now does that mean we
No,
just walk him every time? Maybe, but we won't give up a home run. So Barry Bonds approach it is.
so guys, before we wrap up here, we kind of want to take a look at the Reds take a look back in the Reds' history, right? Kind of share a moment that I feel like really had a turning point in a season or a big game. So I'm going to jump back all the way back to July 3rd of 1919. That was a World Series year. The Reds defeated the St. Louis Cardinals 4-1 at Red Leg Field during what became their first World Series championship season. The victory helped the Reds maintain a strong pace en route to the 1919 National League pennant. So, you got anything on that?
I only got one thing on that. All right. The year, double 19. Who is arguably the greatest player all time of the Reds? He wore number 19, Joey Votto. Now,
Right.
that might not have been intentional, right? Obviously, almost a century before. But
Yeah. Dang
what
near.
what what are,
Dang near.
what are the what are the odds of that, right? Their first World Series, double 19s, and then one of their greatest players of all time, Joey Votto, and he doesn't get a World Series ring. It's wild.
That sucks. That really sucks. Again, we had that argument with Sam. And we weren't blaming him for the 2012
No,
wild card.
no.
Sam,
He
I
was
promise if you're listening to this, we were not blaming you.
he was our shot, and that wasn't on him. He's not the manager to make the call, right? Um, but and yeah, no way is that his fault. What we were trying to say is, if that move would have been made, we knew that we had good hands in Sam, that he was lights out.
It's okay, Sam. One day we'll figure it out. One day we'll get a World Series title in Cincinnati. But until then, guys, if you like this episode, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't yet. If you got any questions, just bring them up. We're always looking for questions on Facebook. I know Chandler's sharing a lot on Facebook about injury updates, any moves in the minor leagues. So, episode 15, guys. It's going to be a doozy. Let's just say that right now. We got Hood News 75 coming on. Hilarious Scales, Lemanuel Scales, whatever you want to call him. He agreed to come on. It should be a doozy. He's a Cincinnati. Bringing. This was my idea, bringing him on. Kind of combining that Reds tradition with that Cincinnati culture and Hood News. Just combining the two, that would make for a great episode. So, guys, we hope you tune into the next episode. We hope you tune into this episode. I hope you stayed. Chandler, I got something for you. I got a challenge for these fans, right? I want to know that they listened to the episode all the way through. Give me one word for them to comment down below to know that they made it to this point in the episode.
MVP.
I like that. I like that. If you guys listen to this episode all the way through and you listen to this point, hope you listen to the next 2 seconds. But if you listen to this point, comment MVP down in the comments so we know you are listening to the whole podcast. If we get no comments, we know nobody's watching our whole podcast. So that kind of shows. But guys, we love doing this. We will continue to do this for many moons to come. So, guys, as Marty would say, this one belongs to the Reds. See you guys.